Hello, my friends. It's so good to see you again. Did you get to go outside yesterday? I bet you did. It was nice and it was sunny. It's supposed to be sunny again today, so we'll have to see. So, my friends, yesterday we did a book walk. Do you remember what book we looked at? Yes, it was about bread. I heard you say that. So we looked at the book, Fry Bread. And this is a book that is written, the author was Kevin Noble Maillard. And the illustrator, do you remember what the illustrator does? Yes, he drew the pictures and colored them, yes. And he is Juana Martinez-Neal. Well, yesterday we looked at the illustrations to try to figure out what the story was about. Some of what we think it's about, we're probably right. But maybe we didn't know all the story. So today we're going to look at it again, and Miss Em is going to read the words. Okay? So I'm going to take off this paper coating. What is this called again? It's the dust jacket, yes. And what does the dust jacket do? Yes, you're right. It keeps the book clean. It keeps the book clean. And this book, do you remember the surprise? It has a different picture on the front cover. Oh, you want to see the back cover? We didn't look at that yesterday. There's the back cover. Yeah. Bunch of hands grabbing, huh? Not grabbing, but trying to touch. Okay, so let Miss M open our book. And remember, I am going to have to go away for a little bit and put the camera so it can see the book instead of me. Are you ready? I'm going to move our camera. Here we go. There we go. So now you can see the book. Oh, I heard somebody giggling. Is that because, oh, they're having their parade? We thought it was a parade. Well, let's see. Miss M can read the words and we will find out. Fry bread is food. Flour, salt, water, cornmeal, baking powder, perhaps milk and maybe sugar. Oh, they are carrying the ingredients. That's the things needed to make the bread. Where do you think they're going to put all those ingredients? Yes, they're probably going to put them in the big bowl because this says all mixed together in a big bowl. I think they're going to have to take the spoon away from the baby and maybe wash it first, huh? Fry bread is a shape. Oh, what shape do we see mostly? I heard it. Everybody said circles. I see the bowl is a circle and the dough is mostly circles. There's some lumpy ones, but I definitely see a lot of circles. Even the top of the salt shaker is a circle and the top of the cup is a circle. We see a bunch of circles. Hands mold the dough. So the hands, just like when we work with our Play-Doh, the hands are molding, and that means to make it a shape. And then they're making it flat like a pancake. What? Oh, yes, they are. They're using the rollers like we have in our art area to roll the dough flat, just like we do with our Play-Doh. It begins round like a ball, like a lump, like we do, and then they have to roll it flat. When it's round, it says that it's puffy, like Nana's softest pillow. So it's puffy like a pillow. There we go. We wondered about this one, didn't we? We think that they're cooking something. Fry bread is a sound. How can there be a sound on this page? I wonder, do you ever hear the food cooking when your mom or grandma or dad or sister or brother are cooking it? It can. There can be sounds when stuff is cooking. It says the skillet clangs on the stove. Oh, sometimes when a pot or a pan comes down on the stove, it can make a clang sound like a bell. The fire blazes from below. We don't see the fire, but if you have a gas stove, You probably see a little fire under the pots and pans when it's in your kitchen cooking, and your parents probably say, "Stay away, it's hot." Some of us have an electric stove and we don't see that flame. You drop the dough in the skillet and the bubbles sizzle and pop. Oh, so the cooking in the pot makes sounds. It sizzles, it goes zzz, and it pops because of the oil that the bread is cooking in. So now we know what this person is listening to. He's listening to the food cook. You know what? I bet you've heard hamburgers being cooked before, and they make sizzles and pops while they're being cooked. So that's a good way for you to understand what this might sound like. And now we know, what is she doing with the dough in her hands? You're right. I think she's waiting to put it in the frying pan. She's probably going to hand it to the adult and put it in the frying pan to be cooked. Fry bread is color. Golden brown, tan or yellow, deep like coffee, sienna or earth. Light like the snow, and cream, warm like rays of sun. Oh, that piece of dough, it's big, and it does look like the sun. When they cook the dough, my friends, depending on how long they leave it in the frying pan, it can come out a different color. If your parents at home have ever cooked bread in a frying pan, and you might have fry bread, I cook fry bread, it will come out all different colors if you leave it in the frying pan longer. So the dough sort of reminds me of the children's skin colors, all different colors. We're all different colors, aren't we? Fry bread is flavor. Flavor means what it tastes like. So the bread is something that tastes different depending on what you put on it. It's beans or soup, smells like tacos and cheese and vegetables. It's delight in honey and jam, and you rise to discover what brings us together. So depending on what you put on top of your bread could change the flavor or the taste. So let's say Miss M puts jelly on her fry bread. That would taste very different than if somebody puts tomatoes and beans and cheese, making it more like a taco. So depending on what you want to put on your bread, it would taste different. It would have a different flavor. I now know, or we know, that this is the bread after it's cooked. It's all puffed up. It's not flat like pancakes anymore because it was in the frying pan. I wonder where she's carrying it to. We didn't look at that yesterday, but she's definitely carrying it away from the children. I wonder where she's carrying it to. Fry bread is time. How can bread be time, I wonder? Let's read a little bit more. On weekdays and holidays, supper or dinner, powwows and festivals, moments together with family and friends. Oh, I think I know what they mean. When we sit and eat breakfast together, or we sit and we eat lunch together, we're spending time together. Time is, you know, our timers in our science area, and we flip them over and they all represent either a minute or 3 minutes or 5 minutes. That's time. So when you sit at your table in your kitchen with your family, or maybe even sitting on the couch watching something on the TV, you are spending time. So when they're eating the bread together, they're spending time with their friends. Fry bread is an art. Cooking is an art. There are people, yes, we dress up like chefs, don't we? And chefs do what? They work at making food for people. So fry bread is an art. Sculpture and landscape portrait, our daily craft, shaped from teacher to student, a cycle of heritage and fortune. So making fry bread is almost they're saying it's similar to when we make stuff with our Play-Doh or when we draw pictures. So we were correct yesterday. This lady is making a basket. She is weaving, and the little boy is weaving another basket. I'm wondering if maybe somebody sewed the dolls that we see in this picture. Do you or your parents have a hobby or a craft? Miss M sews. And you know what? When we take care of our plants or have a garden, that is also a craft or a hobby. Fry bread is history. History is talking about what either has happened in the past. Have you ever had your mom or dad tell you about the day you were born, or show you pictures of when you were a baby? Well, that's your history. That is your past. And here they're saying that these people had long walks from a stolen land, strangers in our world with unknown food. We made new recipes from what we had. Sometimes we have friends in our classroom that have traveled from very, very far to live here in Rochester, and they tell stories about where they came from, and that is their history. We all have a history, and we all talk about where we came from, where our grandmas came from, and where they lived. Sometimes it's just from a different place or different location. Fry bread is a place. Alaska, Kansas, all the way to Maine, down to Delaware, on to Georgia, over to Oklahoma, Colorado, and California, cities and lands we call home. So fry bread is Rochester. We live in Rochester, so fry bread is our city. And maybe if your parents lived somewhere before they came to Rochester, fry bread would be from that place. So it can be anywhere. Maybe somebody took a plane to come live here or came on a boat. Fry bread would be anywhere that we used to be. It can be the world, and the world is a very big place, as we know. Fry bread is a nation, and now I'm going to say a bunch of different words. They're words that we haven't heard before, and they represent different tribes, which is like a family. The Abenaki, the Apache, the Arapaho, the Ojibwa, the Onondaga, the Oglala Sioux, the Nagaset, the Navajo, the Nipmuc, the Seminole, the Shoshone, the Sacs, and the Sac and Fox, hundreds and hundreds of tribes. So in our classroom, we have tribes in a way. We have families. We have the Dickersons and the Wards and the Andrews and the Blanchards, the Chits and the Webb and the Miller and Riveras. We have the Radcliffes and the Thomas and the Shermans and the Goings and the Jones and the Jacksons and the Carters and the Brooks and the Mosleys and the McBrides. Those are all the last names of all of your friends and you. And each family is like a tribe. So fry bread represents all of our families. Fry bread is everything. Oh my goodness. Round and flat, large and small, north and south and east and west, brown, yellow, black and white, families and foreign, old and new, we come together. So we were correct in our assumption. That is, this is a large family, and they've all gotten together to maybe celebrate a holiday like we're going to celebrate coming up this weekend, or some of us are going to celebrate. And they make the bread when they all come together. And they are outside looking at the moon and the stars, all as a great big family. Let's see here. Fry bread is us, and that means you and me. We are still here, elder and young, friends and neighbors. So maybe we're looking at a couple families, or maybe one family, but they live in different places and they've come together to celebrate. I know some people will come together. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 11 people that have come together to celebrate. We strengthen each other to learn, change, and survive. And we're doing that right now in our homes. We are strengthening each other. We are learning, we are changing, we are growing. And we are taking this time to pause, which means we're taking this time to stay home with our families to keep everybody else safe, to make sure people like Miss M is safe. And we will all come together again. And maybe when we do, not maybe, we should maybe make fry bread together to celebrate, shouldn't we? Fry bread is you. Fry bread is you. It is this baby. It is you. It is me. It is all of us. So every time you eat a piece of bread, remember that there's probably somebody else eating bread too. And if you're doing it with your family, you're coming together and you're celebrating. You might be celebrating in a small way of spending time together. This weekend, maybe you'll have other family come over and see you, and you'll be celebrating like the people in our book. It was great reading Fry Bread with you. I enjoyed this story, and I enjoyed learning how bread can make us all feel like we're together. Miss M is going to load the recipe for fry bread. I'm going to make fry bread, and I'm hoping that somebody in your family, your mom or dad or older sister or older brother or aunt or uncle or grandma, will make it with you. And parents, if you families, if you do make it, please take a picture. Send it to me so I can post it that we came together and made fry bread in our homes while we're taking this time to pause. Remember, if you do send me a picture, take the picture of your child making the bread from the back. I want to protect our faces of our children, and they would be going on the internet, so we want to make sure that they are identified by their facial features, okay? My friends, I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, and I will be loading the recipe on, so hopefully over the weekend, while your family might be celebrating the upcoming Christian holiday, you can make bread of some sort. And if you can't make it, that's okay. Maybe you have bread and you can just get together as a family and take a picture of the bread that you're enjoying together. Until then, this is Miss M. I'm so happy that you came to visit, and I look forward to you visiting tomorrow, okay? Bye-bye.